Brilliance Audio presents Storm of Visions by Christina Dodd, performed by Samantha Brentmore. Jacqueline Vargha dug her corkscrew out of her jeans and, with an expert twist and pull, opened another bottle of Blue Oak wines. The tasting room hummed with the conversation of 24 happy tourists. Happy because everyone was engaged in sampling some of the best Cabernet Sauvignon in the valley. She poured generous glasses for the young couple before her. They had money. They thought they knew a lot about wines, and if she handled them right, she could sell a case, maybe more, of the high-end wines. Blue Oak Winery grows our grapes exclusively in our own estate vineyards, one in Napa Valley and one in Alexander Valley. She had given this speech 1,000 times, and it wasn't always easy to make it sound fresh. Maybe if she'd gone to Juilliard and taken acting. As you sip the pure cab, you'll notice rich cassis and berry flavors that form the base of the wine. Then you'll pick up the spicy, peppery flavor and a hint of cherry. They sipped and nodded, their brows furrowed. At the other end of the long bar, Michelle explained to the newest arrivals, two recently returned Marines. It's $20 to taste the wine, but we refund that amount if you buy a bottle. Leaning forward, she placed 2 glasses on the counter, and the Blue Oak logo on the crest of her right breast strained at her thin blue t-shirt. The guy's eyes glazed over, and they dug out their wallets without a hint of protest. Jacqueline grinned. She swore the vintner hired his female help by the size of their chests and how well they used them. How Jacqueline, with her B-cups, had gotten the job, she did not know. Maybe because the vintner's wife had wandered through during the interview, and it had been politic to employ the woman with the little boobies. Probably because Jacqueline was 22 and level-headed, the kind of worker who could keep the tasting room under control, and did. Certainly because she was tall and long-legged, and smiled like Miss America, accepting the crown. It was a character flaw, created by a mother who nagged at her to smile until it was easier to give in than fight. But she could never fill a Blue Oaks t-shirt the way Michelle did. A party of 6 finished their tasting and left, muttering about the heat. They were right. Spring had come with a vengeance, and the temperature had been unrelenting, like an upwelling of hell. Jacqueline lifted her shoulder-length hair off her neck and wished for a breeze. An upwelling of hell. Hell. The word took on a sepia tint, and the word echoed in her mind, a soft, foreboding whisper. Hot, explosively hot, flames spurting. Hell. Hell. Jacqueline's breath slowed. Her eyes narrowed. Her hands, clad in fingerless leather gloves, curled into her hair. She stood, frozen in place, caught by a vision that clawed its way up from deep inside her, overwhelming her, taking her somewhere she did not wish to go. Then she faintly heard the sound of water dripping, and a cold gust of air brushed the back of her neck. She snapped back to the moment, to the tasting room, to her job behind the counter serving wine to a dozen thirsty tourists, to Michelle's voice whispering, "Dibs, Jackie, he's mine. Dibs, dibs." What could have pulled Michelle's attention away from the buff young Marines? Jacqueline glanced at the guy who stood in the doorway and froze in wary appreciation.